Are you struggling to break into AI and machine learning? Whether you're aiming for roles like data scientist, machine learning engineer, or AI specialist, mastering AWS-managed AI/ML services is a key skill in today's job market. Hands-on experience with these tools can make a real difference in your job search. And in this video, we will show you how to build an AI agent with AWS Bedrock. You will learn how to make real-time decisions, retrieve data, and gain valuable hands-on experience, perfect for leveling up your portfolio. And by the end, you will be ready to deploy AI agents with AWS, paving the way to high-paying AI/ML jobs. Just like Utkarsh, Shrija, and others, you can accelerate your career with these skills. And before we start, there's an exciting news. We are offering a free masterclass on how to land a high-paying job in AI and machine learning. Learn the 3-step framework and interview tips to break into these fields. You can register via the link in the description below. And if you're new to AWS Bedrock, make sure that you check out our previous video right over here. So let's dive in and build your first AI agent with AWS Bedrock.
Fine, good. We are good to start with our project today, right? So let me highlight the project. What is the project all about? So it is about building advanced crypto AI agents on Amazon Bedrock. So it's going to be quite interesting project and it's going to be a big one. So multiple things we are going to deploy as part of this project. Some of the steps we have already done in one of the lab demo which I showcased in this session, but there are many more steps in this. So first, let us understand what this project is all about. Okay. Okay, so from the title you can make out it's about building advanced crypto AI agent. So from this you can make out that we are going to deploy agentic AI by using Amazon Bedrock service. You know that Bedrock service supports agent. Okay, so which is a fully managed service. By using Bedrock, you can deploy, you can create Gen AI application using foundation model, and it also supports agent. You are all aware of what an agent does, but still I'll give you an intro a little later. Okay, so let me explain you the project, what it is all about. So what are we going to do? We are going to build an intelligent crypto AI agent, which is going to provide us insights and recommendation for traders and investors by analyzing the cryptocurrency market data. You know that cryptocurrency market data is so dynamic, right? So it should be able to check that data, okay, the changing data, and it should be able to provide us the correct response to our question. It should be able to provide us the recommendation, right? So we are going to build an intelligent crypto AI agent. Now to speed up the development, we are going to use Amazon Bedrock service, which is a fully managed service that supports lot of pre-trained foundation models. Okay, and also we are going to create our knowledge base, the crypto knowledge base. So that is going to be, that knowledge base is going to be the holding the latest information, and it will be providing us the insights and recommendation for traders and investors, those who are analyzing the cryptocurrency market data, the blockchain information, news, all this. Okay, so we are going to build crypto AI agent. Now for this, what all things are required? Okay, now in this project, one thing that is very clear that we have to deploy an agent. So Bedrock agent. And I just highlighted that knowledge base is required, right? Because this is a changing data. So that cannot, that the foundation model, the pre-trained foundation model cannot answer the questions relevant to crypto, okay, cryptocurrency. So for that, definitely we need a knowledge base. So we are going to build a knowledge base. Now, apart from that, the knowledge base takes the data from the, somewhere we have to have our data, right? So we keep the data. Usually, you know that the most popular service where we keep the data, right? Which is not just for you can say building an agentic AI, or apart from that, we also use that service for building the model, machine learning model, right? So can you just name it, guys? Which is that service where we prefer to keep, and the popular service where we prefer to keep our data. Okay, getting the responses here. Perfect. All of you are right. Okay. So that is going to be the no, S3 bucket, right? So S3. So we are going to have our data in S3. Now, the thing is that we have to have the permission. We have to give the permission. Okay. So, uh, because these services are going to communicate with each other, the Bedrock is going to call the knowledge base to whatever the user is submitting the query relevant to cryptocurrency. That is going to be handled by Bedrock service. That's an API request goes to Bedrock, and Bedrock is going to retrieve the data, extract the data from by using knowledge base. Okay, and that is there. The data is stored in S3. So basically, the services are communicating among each other. So definitely, we need to have IAM role. We need to create IAM user. Okay, because I'm not sure if you guys have done, there was one lab demo, right, which I showcased like how to create a knowledge base. So if you remember, knowledge base, we cannot create as a root. So that is not supported. For that, we need to create an IAM user, and we have to provide the relevant permission to the user so that we can log on by that user and we can perform this activity. So I'll show you that how we can perform all these things. Fine. So we definitely would need an IAM user. Why do we need a Lambda function? Why do we need EC2? What exactly are we going to do with that? See, one thing is that we can deploy this whole project in console, or we can just integrate everything in a you can say a Python or in some language, and then we can just run that. Okay, that can be done. But yeah, right now we are just going to do this entire all the steps by using the console. So what is what additional things are required? Whether you go with a console or you go with a programmatic like using a Python or any other code. Okay, but definitely we have to integrate the things, right? Even like creating knowledge base or S3 bucket and all that, we can just integrate in our program also. But ultimately we would need those things, we would need those resources. So what additional resources do you think that it will be relevant? Suppose I'm putting some question, some sensitive question which relevant to cryptocurrency, but the agent should not be answering that, right? So definitely guardrails are required. And one important thing, guys, one very important thing that you guys are missing, which is the backbone of this entire thing. What is that? We would need a pre-trained model, right? Pre-trained foundation model. So that is what is required, foundation model, which is the backbone of this entire thing. The agentic AI is powered by ultimately foundation model. It's not like just there is no model is there and just agentic AI doesn't help. AI, ultimately the word AI is coming in that, right? So agentic works only, or we say that, okay, how the AI can be used as an agentic AI, right? But AI is there. The moment AI comes, model comes into picture. Yeah, Deepa, definitely. See, Bedrock has got lots of foundation models supported, right? We have seen that. Foundation models, large language models, which are like Bedrock is basically powered by all these models, right? Okay. So now, as you have all understood what all resources are required to be created, let me show you the architectural diagram so that you can relate all these resources. You can just see that all these resources, how are we going to put it together and how are we going to build a complete project out of that. Okay, so this is the architecture diagram for our project. And now look at this. So let me explain you how exactly this is going to work. So now here we have the user. Let me use my pen here. Fine. So can you see, guys, the user? So the user query is submitted. Ask crypto related question. So what was our objective? To build an intelligent cryptocurrency agent, right? So now the question submitted by user is related to cryptocurrency, and that is being submitted to whom? To an agent. AI agent that we are going to create by using Amazon Bedrock service. Okay. Now, based on the query, it will extract the data from the knowledge base. Okay, before that, let's say the query is something which it is not supposed to answer. If you remember other day, we just did some demo wherein I put the question to a model how to hack a computer, right? And it did not respond to my question. So for such type of questions, surely it is not going to respond, right? So what is going to work in this scenario? For such questions, which particular element is going to work in this architecture? So guardrail. Okay. So if the question is something which it is out of scope of a model to answer, right? The guardrail is going to block that, and immediately the agent is going to send a response to the user. Okay. Whatever response we have already predefined, that response will go to the user. If it is not a filtering happening here, then the request goes to the knowledge base, and where we have the knowledge base of our cryptocurrency. So this the data source is actually stored here. The data is collected and ingested in S3. Now what this data source is having? It is like a combination of multiple things. Let's say blockchain documentation or crypto white papers or news websites, crypto related news. All this is collected together, curated data set is there, which is collected manually and ingested into the S3 bucket. Okay, and then using that data we create a knowledge base, and then we have got, so now whatever request, so it has extracted the data as per the user query, and now that query and the data is being submitted to the model. Okay, now Titan embedding model we are going to use in our deployment. So what a Titan embedding model does, it converts the ingested textual data into embeddings. Okay, whatever textual data is coming from the user, okay, it will convert that ingested data, the textual ingested data into embeddings. And these embeddings are stored. The embeddings are nothing but these are indexed in open search. They are stored and indexed in open search database. And this, you know that the open search database is very much efficient in semantic search and retrieval. Okay. So what is happening? The user is asking a crypto related question. The query goes to crypto AI agent. Now here, for our deployment, project deployment, we are going to enable Amazon Nova. Nova Pro is the model that we are going to use, and the Titan embedding model. These are the two models that we are going to use for our deployment. And then the guardrail ensures that the response remains safe. It should be compliant. Like if this is the project of your organization, so it should be compliant with the organization, with your local governance, and it is restricted to crypto related domain only and should not hallucinate. Okay, so all that is taken care by guardrail. And then the agent uses knowledge base, okay, open search for semantic retrieval of relevant data. Titan embeddings are used for keeping the data. You can say these embeddings in open search, and then the AI agent uses and extract that. And then it generates a contextual response and sends the response back to the user. So this is the response which is sent back to the user by the agent after it gets the response from this whole pipeline. Okay. So these are the various things that we are going to deploy. So in our deployment, we are going to create a user. Fine. The user for this is I'm talking about IAM user for deployment of all these things. No, sorry, my bad. This is actually an end user in this diagram. So in this architecture diagram. So, but for our deployment, IAM user. And then we are going to create the knowledge base. First, we'll be uploading the file, the crypto file, the data file in S3. Then we'll be creating the knowledge base. We will be creating the agent in Bedrock. Okay, creating the guardrail, and then finally we'll be testing it. This is how we are going to go ahead with our project deployment. Is knowledge base subject related data source? Yes, so that knowledge base is since our project is about cryptocurrency. Okay, so it will have the data of cryptocurrency. So that, see, why do we if you just ask this question relevant to cryptocurrency to any large language model or any foundation model, it is going to respond you. It is not like it is not going to respond you. But why do we provide knowledge base, guys? Why do we go for that? Why do we go for that? Then the foundation model, if you put any question to foundation model, it's going to respond you. But what is to get more updated information, to get more accurate information? We want a high accuracy. Okay, sometimes you know that foundation model hallucinate. Getting my point? It hallucinate, right? So I would just like to give you one analogy here before I proceed with because there were some questions on RAG and this one RAG. So guys, just think of like you're writing an exam, okay, and you are there in a room where you are writing an exam, and let's say it's a closed book exam. You don't have access to any books, phone, any material. So how do you answer the questions? From where do you fetch the data to answer the questions? Can you tell me? Knowledge, knowledge, brain, and where is the knowledge stored? In your memory, correct? So you extract the data from your memory and answer the questions. Try to answer the question, correct? This is a close. So this is exactly like put when you prompt to foundation model. When you put any question to a foundation model or a large language model, it uses its knowledge, what it has been trained on. And based on that, it will answer the question. Now, there is another scenario wherein it is open book exam. Okay, so there is a question given to you and there is a book given to you. Now you have to provide the answer to the question using the book. So what is happening? Which one is more accurate? Can you tell me the scenario 1 or scenario 2? Which one is going to be more accurate? Open book, right? Because what we do, we are finding the answer and just copying the answer from book to the answer sheet. So it's going to be more accurate. That is what is RAG. And the closed book is, that's why, see, sometimes foundation model hallucinate, right? Likewise, we do hallucination when we were writing exams in our college school. I had used to do a lot of hallucination. Hallucination, this is, I used to, like, if I don't know the answer of a question, I used to apply my logic and answer the questions. That everyone does at some point of time in school or colleges, right? So, not necessary that it's going to be accurate, right? But yeah, when it is open book, it is accurate. That's what is the difference. Putting the question to foundation model directly or using the RAG or the same knowledge base, right? So that is what we want, the accurate answer related to our project, the cryptocurrency. Fine. Okay, we are good to go ahead and deploy. So Nova is something which we are using the agent. Okay, AI agent is going to use the Nova. Okay, whatever data the user query has gone to knowledge base, and then the embeddings are created, stored in open search, and then the semantic search and all that. So now the user query along with when in the return journey of this, okay, after this the entire the query goes here and then it comes back in the return journey. So now it is not just the question, the user question also has got answer to that. Okay, user query and the data, okay, what it is extracted, so that has a context, right? So all this together will be handled by foundation model Nova, and then the response is generated to the user. Okay, so AI agent uses foundation model Nova to generate the response and provide it to the user. Did not get the AI agent. Is that the GenAI app? No, AI agent. Okay, let me tell you. Guys, AI agent here is agentic AI. AI agent is nothing but we are going to use Amazon Bedrock service to build an AI agent. Now, what is agentic AI? What is your understanding of agentic AI? Okay, we are going to build a agentic AI using the Bedrock service and using the and that agentic AI is going to be powered by Nova model. So agentic AI is autonomous, self-performing. That's right. So basically, agentic AI is not just answering question to your prompt, but it has the capability of taking the actions. Okay. Till now, foundation models, whatever we saw, we used it in the playground. We just did the hands-on of that, but it was like putting question, getting answer. So it was just QA kind of thing and all, but just providing a response or maybe a recommendation or something like that. But we did not see like it has the capability of taking a decision or taking the action. But agentic AI has that capability of taking the action. Okay, so AI agent or agentic AI acts like an agent. For example, let's say I want to schedule an event at my home, some birthday party I want to schedule, okay, organize at my place. So I have just outsourced this requirement to some vendor, gave my requirement to them, and now they are executing the things. So my requirement to them is going to be the prompt to the agentic AI. And then based on my request or my requirement, they are going to take the action, right? If some last minute changes are required, they are going to they have all the rights to take the action based on my requirement, right? So that is what is agentic AI is all about, right? Okay, let me take you to the console and let's start deployment. So the first place, we will create a user. Okay, so for that I'll go to IAM and create a user. That's going to be simple step. Creating user by the name um, Maria. Okay, providing console access, password. I don't want the user to change the password first time the user logs on, right? So just a name and providing console access and the password and the policy I need to attach. So what policy I'm going to attach? I would want definitely this user should be able to deploy the knowledge base and should be able to create the agentic agent in Bedrock service and all that. So having an access of Bedrock and all, I can just do the individual service what as what required, or maybe I can just go ahead with administrator access. Okay, so I'll go with administrator access to this user. And the job function we have this, and then I'll go back to go ahead and create the user. Done. So that was my first step. Now, next step is I need to enable the foundation model. Okay, before that, I'll just upload the file. So already I have uploaded it. I'll just show you, and that you all will get the access to that. The file that we are going to use as a knowledge base for creating a knowledge base. So just showing you that. So that's going to be the second step. But since I've already done that, in my general purpose bucket, I have that in this bucket, fourth of the bucket, A21 project. I've created one folder, and this is the file, txt file, crypto knowledge base file is there. Okay, so this is the one I have uploaded. Okay, so user is created. This is done, and now the next thing is Bedrock. So let me first few things I'm just doing it as a root, and then I'll just switch on to the IAM user. So next thing is like enabling the access, activating the enabling the access, sorry, to the foundation module. So though it is already there, but once again I'll show you as you all are aware of that. So you have to go to Bedrock, scroll completely down, go to the model access under configure and learn, go to model access, and here you can search for Nova Pro and Titan embedding. So or you can just see it's already activated. So the one I have actually enabled all the Amazon. So this is the one that we are going to use. So access granted. Now you know how you should be doing it. So if you want to enable, you can just go for modify model access and then select whichever you want. Let's say Java instead of selecting, and then just go ahead, click on next and submit your request. Right. So one Nova Pro, it's already activated. The other one we wanted is Titan embedding, right? Titan embedding G1. So yeah, Titan, yeah, Titan text. pattern, embedding G1 text, and this one. So all this is enabled. Fine. We are good to go ahead. And now the next step, definitely creating a knowledge base. For that, I will have to log on with my IAM user. So I'll just open incognito and we'll log on. Let me grab the IAM user URL. Maria. Okay. So my next step is going to be creating knowledge base using Bedrock. Okay. So I'll go to Bedrock. Okay. So I'm good to now scroll down. Here we have under build knowledge base. So let's get started with knowledge base. Create knowledge base with vector store. Okay. Now one important thing when you are deploying it in your console, make sure that once your deployment is done, once your testing is done, just completely remove the things. Okay, delete the things so that you will not get charged much, because open search is chargeable, right? And if you just keep it in your environment, it's going to give you a good charges. So make sure that you terminate the resources. So knowledge base with vector store, I'm taking this, and then I have to provide some name here. So I have kept the things ready with me, so instead of typing and just copy paste it here. Knowledge base name, a description. Okay, because description is something which is important for agent, not for the knowledge base, but definitely for agent. So instead of typing in the description, I've just kept it handy. Okay, just a small description here. Comprehensive knowledge base containing cryptocurrency concept, blockchain technology, wallets, exchange, and FAQs. So these are the things you can see that these are the things which are there in my in my data source file. Okay, next is IAM permission. So we can create the role beforehand, or we can just go ahead and like you can use existing and you can select, or maybe let it create it for you. So create and use new service role. So let it do that for us. And then I go down choosing data source, which is my S3 bucket. And then I go down and I go for next. Okay, there is a, a name issue in this, because what happened after the name, a space is there, which is an invalid character. So I have to remove that space. Okay, now it is accepting. And then I go for next. And I provide some data source name. Let's say I'm giving the data source name as crypto knowledge data source. And then I go down, and now I have to choose that location where I have uploaded my file. So I'll just browse and get my file here. That's K21 project folder, and this will be one. Okay. Okay. So fine. So what I did, guys, I gave some name to my data source, selected that location, the S3 bucket location where I had uploaded the file, crypto knowledge base txt file, and then I have to go down, remaining things, no change, and I'll just go for next. And here I'm supposed to choose the model, embedding model, right? What it says, select an embedding model to convert your data into embeddings, right? Vector embedding. So I select, and we already discussed that which model is required. So Titan embedding is the one that we are going to use. Feedback for Bedrock, create knowledge base. Okay, yeah, it was easy. I'm so sorry, I'm just getting distracted here. I'll just answer this and come back. So Bedrock capabilities for creating a knowledge base met my need, yeah. On behalf of all of you, I'm just answering this. I was satisfied with the experience of creating a knowledge base. It's very simple, right? We saw it's very simple, and then I submit my. Okay, so coming back to the next, so you can see our knowledge base vector database is ready, and it is asking us to see knowledge base, crypto knowledge base created successfully. Synchronize one or more data sources to index your content for searching. Okay, guys, see the file which I have uploaded, cryptocurrency file .txt file which I have uploaded in S3. Think about that; it's a big size file, right? Now, when a user is putting a question, let me go back to that diagram, architecture diagram. Now, when the user is putting a question to the agent, right? So what is happening now? That agent, the question which is coming here, it has to search the answer, right? Let's say it's a big file. Now the knowledge base has a big data. It has to search. For that, this open search, that embedding will help. It will do a semantic search and find out the relevant information, more precise information. So that's why it is required to create a embeddings of our data. So sync one or more data sources to index your content for searching. So that indexing expedite the extraction of the information from the knowledge base. So that is what we are going to do that. Now I just scroll down for starting this activity. It's a very simple. I just go down. Now this is our data source. I select this and I click on sync. Okay, so this also takes few minutes. Let me initiate this process and then I'll take the questions. Okay, initiated and it started. Yeah, fine. Okay, how the synchronization works. Basically, what we are doing, the synchronization is about syncing the data source with the open search, okay, for creating the embeddings. So it will create the vector embeddings and that will be used, basically it is for indexing. So that will be used for providing the quick access or retrieving the data quickly from the knowledge base, right? Now we are going to move ahead.
Sonal, I have a question.
Yeah.
When I was doing this RAG-based lab earlier, I don't know if anybody has encountered or not. It
Mhm.
was not. It was saying model access required, and when I checked, the IAM user was not given the model access. Even though I gave the model access to my root user, the IAM user did not had the model access. I had to enable the model access for IAM user again.
Okay. You mean to say, okay, as a root, you were able to enable the model, or you enabled it, right? But the IAM user wasn't able to access that. That's what you're saying?
Correct,
Okay,
correct. And then
maybe the Bedrock full access is not been provided to that IAM user, I believe.
no, I provide the full admin access like you did.
Administrator access.
And yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I don't know if this is by default that whenever we create a user, we have to give the access to the model, or by default it comes automatically
No, no,
from
no.
the
See,
root
once
user.
see, ultimately the IAM user is in the boss of IAM user is the root, right? So if suppose some model is enabled as a root, that will get inherited to the IAM user also. The IAM user will be able to access that model if it has the model, the user has a necessary permissions. So if suppose you have already attached the administrator access policy, then that user should be able to access the foundation model which is already been enabled by the root. So what I suggest you, Ankur, just do one thing. Try doing it one more time and capture the screenshot and then share with us so that I can find out what is the problem and where it is, what's if anything is
Okay,
missing. Okay.
sure.
And even the error also. When you are creating user, what policy you are attaching, that is one screenshot. Another screenshot, trying to access, okay, the model access. If access is enabled, that one more screenshot, and then the error message screenshot. 3 screenshot is sufficient for me to check that.
Sonal, a quick question. Sonal,
Yeah.
if you have like on the S3, like for example, 1 TB of data, right? Like
Mhm.
artifacts, and then it's going to be vectorized through the model, right? You're using Titan, and then
Correct.
those the numerical one, right? Vectorization is what, like converting all the plain text into some numbers,
Exactly. Correct.
nature. So if I have like, for example, 1 TB of data on my S3,
Mhm.
I, from a design standpoint, my open search also would need to have like 1 TB of
No, not at all. Not at all. Just think of like, see, when any see, whatever we communicate with our machines, right, in a normal plain English, it gets converted into binary language, zeros and one. It won't take
Mhm.
that same amount of space as what it is being taken by the decimal number system or
So
by
there will be a compression technique, right? Probably like maybe
exactly,
by
yes,
1/3 or something like that, right? So
yeah,
maybe 1
correct.
TB would translate to
Yeah. And it is,
100.
see, there are some repeated words also. I'm just trying to put a logic, this one, just trying to simplify and explain it with the logic. Like multiple, the words are which are repeated, doesn't have to have multiple times the same word it has to store, right? It can just
Oh,
have one number for the same number, same words, which is repeated, right? So it will not be of the same.
but it will auto stretch, right? Based upon how much, whatever data I'm dumping into the S3, the open search will expand accordingly, right? So the sizing is never going to be a constraint.
No, no, not at all. It's completely fully managed service. Serverless, it is
Yeah.
serverless, so it's fully managed service. So that won't be a constraint.
Yeah, here, right, we are storing the crypto file. For
Mm-hmm.
example, today I uploaded,
Mm-hmm.
whenever you query, right, it goes to the file and after that it will convert into the embedded model and it goes to the open search, right?
Correct.
Suppose after 1 month, right, that data
Mm-hmm.
becomes old. Still, if
Mm-hmm.
I go and ask, right, again I will
Mm-hmm.
get old data that is
Of
not
course, so that is what I
relevant.
said. Right now, we are just using S3. That's kind going like little static, but instead of that, we can have a database where the continuous data is synchronized with the real world. Even we
Okay.
can keep the data updated in S3 also, right? That is also possible, but that is
Yeah.
something which we have to do it. Like maybe we have to create a data pipeline for that, and just transfer the data. You were there in the data processing services that we discussed. Like data sync is there. We have a lot of other services that are there. Snow storage gateways there. So many are there. From where by using those services, we can continuously sync our data. Or DMS services also there, database migration service. So we can keep our data up to date, okay, as something changing
Okay.
in real world. So we can do that. Maybe in S3 also we can do that, even database and all. So definitely that's
Okay.
a very valid question, and surely it makes sense when it is updated one for such type of you can say,
Yeah, and one more thing, right? This
yeah.
is what my understanding. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm giving a query here. It is
Mm-hmm.
going to knowledge base. After that,
Mm-hmm.
it's from knowledge base. Basically, try to get the data S3 only it will be stored. After that,
Mm-hmm.
it goes to the embedded model. Embedding is just like
No, no. Actually,
text.
it doesn't go to S3 actually. The knowledge base submit the data to the open search, and it here it has the index, right? So it
Yeah.
this index to find out the relevant answer to that, and then it will be extracted from S3.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
But a bad diagram should not be like that, right? Maybe
But it
something.
is like this only. It is been given because here, if we put it somewhere, uh, this has multiple this one because the data is collected here. So the knowledge base we have to put it here, right, in the first place, and the knowledge base is backed by a data source. So that's for that we have to put it this one here. Okay, but
Yeah, basically, right. I mean, it gets data from open search index only, right?
the data is definitely it is not taking from the open search, but the query is
Data will take from S3 only, but
exactly,
index will get it from open search.
yes, correct,
Open search only will be decided
yes,
what data needs to be taken, right?
exactly, that's right. So the semantic search, what we call it as a semantic search.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah.
And one more thing, right? If I
Mm-hmm.
give some query, for example, it will be in the text format.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to embedding, right, it will be converted into the numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Open search understand those numbers only, right?
Yeah, it will be in and embedding is ultimately converting the text data into numerical format.
Yeah, numerical, it goes to the open search.
Correct.
From there only it will get indexing.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes back to user, right, response, how it works? Same way it will
That
work or
is that is
differently?
what is the Nova model is doing here. Amazon Nova model.
Okay, okay, okay.
It is not just the
I mean,
agent. Yeah,
there we are converting from
exactly.
embedding text to the
Yeah.
normal text, right?
So taking the extracted data, see here what is happening. I'll tell you. Now here the vector, the open search is keeping all the vectors, the index, right? So the user query is submitted. Based on that, it is trying to extract the relevant information from where? It is extracting the relevant information from the knowledge base. Okay, basically
Okay.
knowledge base handle this. So the extracted data is not in numerical format.
Correct.
The query got converted into numerical format. Okay, the vectors are created, and then the extracted data is in normal whatever data is there, and that data is being given to the Nova model. So now the Nova model is giving you a complete recipe together. It's like two three things, ingredients are there, like let's say the tea is prepared, the cup saucer is there, okay, and the cookies are there. So all everything is put together in a tray, and that is what Nova model is doing, and then responding to the users and that basically that Nova model is doing in the back end, but who is performing all these actions? The agentic AI is getting this action performed by using Nova model and then providing the response to the user.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sonal, one more question here. So the Titan embedding model we selected when we are creating knowledge base is just to create embeddings for this data, whatever we uploaded on S3, correct?
Yes.
And also, you were telling like we need to create Nova Pro as well. So, but we haven't created Nova as well yet,
Nova
right?
model, wait, Nova model is a pre-trained foundation model. So I have already enabled that model. Now the next step, what we are going to do is we are going to build an agent. So the agent is going to use this Nova model.
While we are creating agent, then we are going to select the
Exactly.
model, pre-foundation model, whatever we need. Correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And one more question.
Mhm.
So, if on real-time basis, like if data is on SharePoint or
Mhm.
different based on company wherever the data is
Correct.
stored, right?
Correct.
So, if we want to use external source, how do we?
That I showed you the option, custom option we have. When we are creating the knowledge base, we can connect to external data source using the custom option.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Suppose like if I don't have a SharePoint option, like how do I get the data to this?
That is what SharePoint, there is a separate option, but I'm talking about the
Okay.
custom option wherein you have data somewhere in some other source in your on-prem environment or some other external source. Okay, so that you can choose by using the custom option. SharePoint option, anywhere you have that. Default it is
Okay.
there. Okay.
And also like whenever a new data gets added to S3, right, a new file or something, then I need to do synchronization of the uh, uh, uh,
Yeah, as your data
right?
source data gets changed, you have to do the sync so that OpenSearch is updated with the embeddings.
Yeah. And also for the old data, if I
Mhm.
re-upload it, right, all are the indexes, everything gets changed. I mean to say numeric vectors and everything gets changed, or it's going to be static all the time based on
No,
the data.
it's going to be the same thing. If you
Okay,
re-upload the
got it.
same file, it doesn't have to be. As anytime the data changes, only then that is your responsibility to synchronize it. If you, let's say you have re-uploaded the same thing, but already has the embeddings in open source, so it's going to use the same thing. Let's say you have uploaded a new file and you did not synchronize it, so the open search is going to use this old one embeddings. Okay.
Right. Can you show the synchronization once again here in this case?
Yeah, so what it's very simple. Once the knowledge base is created, it will prompt you there and there itself that you should synchronize it. So that pop-up was coming up. So as I
A
go to
sync.
the
There is a sync here, right?
yeah,
There
so
is
just
a sync.
select and
Yeah.
sync. That's it.
Okay. Got it.
So
Yeah.
anytime I
Thank you.
can once again I can start synchronizing it. It's my thing that has to be done by user. Okay,
Can we
fine.
do auto
Thank you.
sync whenever data changed?
Sorry, come again.
Can we do auto sync whenever data gets changed?
Okay, definitely you can do that, but you have to create a complete pipeline of that wherein you will be automating all this complete flow. So as a new, let's say I am putting that in my program wherein as a new file is uploaded in my S3 bucket, I will define a Lambda function which will get triggered, and that function is going to synchronize my data source so that my OpenSearch is updated. So I will have to define a logic in my function.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now let's move on to next step. Next is creating the agent. So I'll go to create the agent. Here under build we have the agent option. I go to create an agent. Create. I have to provide the name to my agent. So let me just give a name relevant to our task crypto AI agent. Now here I have to give a clear description what exactly I am expecting from the agent. Okay. So an AI assistant for answering cryptocurrency related queries using our crypto knowledge base. And then I go for create. Okay. Now it's time to select the model. So as I go down, about agent role, resource role. So let it create it of its own, create and use a new role. And then I'm selecting the model here. So let's choose Nova Pro. Okay. Now what are the instructions that I want to give for the agent? Okay. So here you can see provide clear and specific instructions for the task the agent will perform. You can also provide certain style and tone, like kind of a prompt engineering over here. Okay. You will have to provide a very clear, very precise information what you're expecting from the agent that you're building so that the agent work accordingly. Think of this agent as the as your assistant in the office. So what you do, let's say you go to office on Monday morning and you have some task which you have planned and you just give an instruction to your assistant that these are the tasks that you have to perform. So you have to give a very clear instruction and what task has to be performed, how it has to be performed. Okay, some style or tone like in which what is the process that will be followed. Example, just an analogy. So accordingly, the assistant will do the job. Same thing over here. So in which you can say format it should give, that also you can specify. So this is like a prompt to your agent. So I am giving the prompt. Let me just show you. I'll just want you to read out this. See, or maybe I'll read out for you. It says you are crypto AI, a helpful and knowledgeable assistant specializing in cryptocurrency topic. And use the linked crypto knowledge base to provide accurate, concise, and easy to understand answers to user questions about cryptocurrency, blockchain, technology, wallet, exchange, and crypto tools. So respond politely and professionally. So I'm actually telling the agent to respond politely and professionally. That showcases that I don't want any harsh language or I don't want any negative word to be used. If a question is outside your knowledge, like what I'm saying, if the question is outside your knowledge base, answer based on, okay, answer based on general crypto, oh my bad, sorry. Answer based on general crypto concepts. Getting my point? See, for example, there is some question which is not there as part of the knowledge base, the data source. So what I am telling the agent to do, based on the general knowledge which it has gained while the model was trained, right? Or politely inform the user that you don't have the information. So I'm giving this option to the agent, either just deny or answer based on what knowledge the agent has. And I'm also saying that always prioritize clarity and avoid overly technical jargon unless specifically asked. So these are my clear instructions to the agent. I save this. Now I would want to connect my knowledge base to the agent, right? So I'm going to next step. Done. So now I'll scroll down and knowledge base. I'm going to add my knowledge base which we created earlier. So this is our crypto knowledge base. Just adding a description here. Knowledge base instruction for agent. Use this knowledge base to answer cryptocurrency related questions accurately and right. So again an instruction for my agent, right? So agent is going to use this knowledge base. I click on add, and then I again click here to save these changes. Done. Okay, so we have integrated the Nova Pro. So my agent is going to use Nova Pro, and then what we did, we gave a clear instruction to the agent what it is supposed to perform. Next is I have told my agent to use this knowledge base, okay, for answering the questions. Okay, now our next task is to create a guardrail. I go for edit. If I do a pull down, I have some guardrails already created, but okay, I'll create a new one. So here I go for this link, new guardrail. And here I give the name crypto AI guardrail project. Okay. Now what is the description that I'm giving here is providing prevents unsafe or misleading crypto related responses. And then here, this is the standard message for block prompts, but if I want, I can customize it. I'm just giving a customized prompt here so that it can provide me for any prompt that is going to block, it's going to provide me this kind of response. And I go for next. I will enable harmful categories and also prompt attacks, right? And then I go for next. Rest of the things I'm not changing, but you can just do this customization. You know how you can perform these activities, right? So we discussed in our session. I'll just go to next and create a guardrail. Okay, so the guardrail which I've created, that's a new one. So I have to still integrate with my agent. So let me go to my agent. Can you see the status? It is not prepared yet. Okay, so the agent is not ready to provide us the responses. So still we have to do the steps. So I go for, because the guardrail I'm adding and I have to prepare, then the agent has to be prepared. So I just scroll down and I'll add my where is my guardrail one? Let me just go back. I'll go to edit the agent, and yeah, I scroll down and I click on edit for guardrail. And my project, yeah, this is the one. I go for save and exit. And then whatever changes is been done, finally let's save and exit everything. So we have, let's quickly check agent is there, sorry, model is there, Nova Pro. Instructions are there for the agent here in the block box, and then we have the knowledge base. Okay, we have the guardrail done, and we are good to go ahead and save and exit. Okay, done. Now it is still not prepared. So what is the next step? We have to prepare the agent to test the latest changes. Whatever changes we have done after creating the agent, like creating the guardrail and integrating the knowledge base, right? So let's click on prepare. And it is prepared. Now you can see Crypto AI agent was successfully prepared. Now we are good to test our agent. Okay, so the project deployment is done. Now next step is putting the questions to the agent and checking if we get the response. Okay, let's say my question is, what is blockchain technology? Okay, so yeah, I'm getting the responses. So my deployment is successfully done. Let me ask some question. Let's say how to hack a crypto wallet. Okay, that is what we wanted, and it's working as expected, and that is the deployment. Okay, so after the knowledge base deployment is done, the synchronization of data source, then we deployed the Bedrock agent, and also we integrated with knowledge base and the guardrail. That is the complete project deployment.
So you have now seen how powerful AWS Bedrock can be for building AI agents and deploying scalable AI/ML solutions. So whether you're just starting or looking to enhance your skills, this is the path to take your career to the next level. And before you go, don't forget about the free 90-minute masterclass we are hosting, where our experts will guide you through a proven 3-step framework to help you land a high-paying job in AI, machine learning, data science, and agentic AI. So make sure that you register through the link in the description below. So thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, definitely check out our previous videos right over here.